Where Colin was right?
I don't want to be mean, but the J.J. McCarthy thing, I don't know if he's even a backup. 3 turnovers and 4 yards in the second half. You could watch how Green Bay was coaching. You could tell. Look at their game plan. Green Bay, it's like, we're just going to run it. We don't need to take any big swings here. So the second half against Green Bay is, I mean, you can't just throw when you have all day and you're leading. I mean, yesterday is NFL quarterback play. On the road, trailing to a very good team and a very good defense. Everybody kept telling me, this is the guy you got to draft. And he was the only quarterback in his class. I said, I don't see it. I don't get it. I think I was right on that.
Colin keeps reminding us that this was the only quarterback that he had a question about. I think ultimately J.J. McCarthy is exactly the type of quarterback that I thought he was going to be, or he was going to need exactly what I thought he was going to need. Sit for a full year. And that's why going into last season, and I've repeated this a lot, but it bears repeating, that I said Sam Darnold's going to start. And I remember watching an interview. I reacted to an interview with Kevin O'Connell. And I used that as a jumping off point to be like, guys, Sam Darnold is starting. You got to listen to what Kevin O'Connell is saying right here. Sam Darnold is going to start. And I got pushback. And then, fate took over and JJ got injured. But I just kept saying, like, JJ McCarthy needs to develop. He needs to sit, etc., etc. And he did not get to do that. He did not get to do that last year. And this is what I had also said when I did the Orlovsky clip. We were talking about the mechanics and this and that. And I said, you don't really get to work on that during the games or even during the season. It's something that only can be done really during the offseason because it takes hours upon hours upon hours upon hours of reps and putting in the work that you can't do during the season. Now, you don't have time for that. You got to work on other stuff. You got to work on the game plan, like all the other stuff that you got to do, film study, etc., etc. So it's just different. And so he wasn't able to work and be developed on practices on the practice squad, second team, third team reps, like whatever it may be. Like he didn't get to do any of that. Any of that. And now you got him in, being thrown out here, and it's not great. He shows you pockets where you're like, whoa, that was great. He had one throw to to Justin Jefferson, and you're just like, wow, that is a high level layered throw, right? Like beautiful, perfect. And then he has other throws where you're just like, oh my gosh, what the heck was that? What the heck was that? I look at J.J. McCarthy as clearly a really raw talent and someone who right now is definitely overwhelmed. Definitely overwhelmed. But like I showed you with the Bears, how I told you Ben Johnson showed you what to do with JJ. I mean, look what Matt LaFleur is doing with Jordan Love. 14 for 25, 139 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 85.2 passer rating, and they ran the ball 42 times. And compare that to what the Vikings did. They ran the ball 20 times, 93 yards. It's like, that matters. And again, you had this against the Bears, 22 carries, 115 yards. The Bears, 39 carries. I mean, Mac Jones in the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, had them run the ball 39 times against a top defense, the Atlanta Falcons' top defense. Asked Mac Jones to go 17 for 26, 152 yards, 0 touchdowns, and an interception. And a bunch of these throws were short to Christian McCaffrey. Seven receptions for 72. Again, another game. 19 for 24 for Mac Jones. 28 carries alone from Christian McCaffrey. 39 on the day for rushing. I mean, against that same Atlanta Falcons defense, they ran the ball 19 times. 19 times. against the Lions, where they won 14-25. They actually ran the ball 29 times. More rushes than pass attempts. Go figure. Against the Baltimore Ravens, 42 pass attempts, 18 rushes. 5 of them from J.J. McCarthy. So you literally only had 13 rushes. And it wasn't because this score was so big. The score was close for very much of that game. So that was always my biggest concern with Kevin O'Connell, is that he's shown to be awesome with quarterbacks. Awesome with quarterbacks. Has he shown his ability to develop a young quarterback? And again, to be very clear, it's like, I'm not trying to say, like, I blame Kevin O'Connell for J.J. McCarthy's struggles. Like, that's not what I'm saying either. I'm saying it's a contributing factor. I'm saying J.J. McCarthy is the contributing factor. But I just want to kind of have the conversation from both sides of it. Like, J.J. McCarthy has not been good enough by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm also kind of like, I don't know how much you're making things easier for him either. And now things start to really spiral. And then now you're having him now try to, like, make some of these big time throws, and you're kind of just like, maybe not against an elite defense like the Packers. Like, maybe not. Maybe not against an awesome Atlanta Falcons defense that was able to swallow up Josh Allen. Like, probably not the best idea. And so I just question the plan of attack. And yeah, Minnesota Vikings, like, the players themselves I'm telling you right now, they're not feeling good about this. And Justin Jefferson is sitting at home, going on his phone and seeing what Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks are doing right now. You're just like, oh my gosh. Even Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts having the Chiefs on the ropes. It's like it's tough. It is tough to accept that right now. And you had some strong views about J.J. McCarthy. J-Mac saying that he's the next Josh Allen, which I was like, what are we doing here? And Dan Orlovsky was like, I think J.J. McCarthy is going to have this Vikings team exactly where they were last season. And it's like, guys, have we forgot that young quarterback struggle, that it takes time to get settled? And that even when we want to use the example of like a Jaden Daniels, it's like, he was older, he was in college more, like, and he also has his legs to really add another dimension, that it just is a lot easier to kind of get settled because you have your get out of jail free card with your legs. And a lot of people ripped that Jaden Daniels led offense because they were like, oh, it's too collegiate, it's too immature, right? It's too remedial or whatever. And it was like, well, it was successful and it worked a lot. So, I mean, look at this. This is insane. Jaden Daniels, in his first 4 games, the quarterback that people think had the best rookie season of all time, his average depth of target is 6.4. 6.4. J.J. McCarthy leads the NFL in average depth of target, 10.1. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. In no world should that be the case. 0. None. Sam Darnold right now, who is arguably the best deep ball passer in the NFL right now, just crushing it. He's got a shorter average depth of target than J.J. McCarthy right now. Do you know how insane that is? That's insane. That is absolutely insanity. Okay, in 4 games, Jaden Daniels had 32 pass attempts behind the line of scrimmage. 30% of his attempts. J.J. McCarthy, 24. 15% of his pass attempts are behind the line of scrimmage. And that's in 6 games, by the way. For Jaden, it was only his 4. That's a massive discrepancy. And for screen passes, J.J. McCarthy, 16 attempts, bottom of the NFL. The only ones that are lower than him are players that haven't played the full season. Jacoby Brissett, Russell Wilson, Brock Purdy, Tyrod Taylor, Davis Mills, Tyler Shuck. And obviously, JJ hasn't been able to play the full season, but literally 9.4%. 9.4%. For Jaden Daniels, in his first 4 games, 20.9% were screens, 28 attempts, led the NFL. Again, in less games, 4 games, 28 attempts. J.J. McCarthy, 16 attempts in 6 games. So no, I do not think Kevin O'Connell is doing good enough of a job. Cliff Kingsbury knows how to develop a quarterback. I'm not saying that Cliff Kingsbury is anywhere close to being as good of a head coach or an offensive coach or an offensive play caller as Kevin O'Connell. That's not the argument that I'm making. Developing a young quarterback and meeting a young quarterback where they are is very different than bringing in someone who has experience, whether they're a backup, whether they've been in the NFL for 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, and they just never really got things going. Whether it's a Dobbs or a Sam or a Kirk Cousins, it's completely different from a young, raw quarterback who's like, I need to learn how to play in the NFL. I need to be put in a position to succeed at that level. Not everyone has that ability. Not everyone has that ability. So that's just the side that I want to point out. And again, not making the argument that like, hey guys, JJ McCarthy is actually great and Kevin O'Connell is just failing him. That's not the take. That's really not the take. I just want to offer other perspectives that I don't feel so that you're really getting anywhere else. Honestly, like I'm not seeing it. But if we look at the quarterback who potentially had the, if not one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time, it's like, well, look what they did with him. They asked him to not throw the ball real deep. J.J. McCarthy's throwing nearly double the average depth of target. And the screen passes and the behind the line of scrimmage passes, the schemed throws, the easy, like, we're just getting our quarterback settled. We're getting him easy completions, easy yards, are virtually non-existent for J.J. McCarthy and this Minnesota Vikings offense. And handing the ball off seemingly is just something that they just want to sprinkle in every once in a while. It's like, you're not doing the best job of supporting your quarterback. And don't tell me it's like, well, they got Justin Jefferson. It's like the Commanders had Terry McLaurin. He's not Justin Jefferson, but still something. So, just something to think about. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings? Do you think he's not even a backup, according to Colin? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.